pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public comment on things on the agenda. Hold your time, 5 minutes.
This isn't on the agenda, but I don't think you're gonna. Well, this is ridiculous, guys. This is ridiculous. But I want to compliment or praise the county conservation. They held their fall festival 2 Sundays ago. We had 6, 7, I don't know how many hundreds, I will know when we have a meeting. I've never seen so many people out there and little kids. It was wonderful. And I just wanted to compliment, because our director, we don't have a director right now, so Dustin, Riley, the maintenance people, Delana Halter, Brian Waka did a ton of work, and probably the main one was Raina, our naturalist. I just wanted to compliment that there is something good going on, and what I liked is all the little kids, and they weren't on their devices, you know. I mean, it was so nice. So we need to be doing things like this, but I just wanted to say that, but I also want to say, I think we should, you are the only guys we can go to with comment on anything, and I think we have got to change this. We can't have 15 minutes and nothing, you know, we got to be able to say something. So because you let me say this, and this is, that's a good thing, but we need to, if we have a complaint, we need to say that too. So it's got to change.
I take right around here.
No, it's not up yet, but it's gonna get worked on, and then Clark's Park, that's the big one that's gonna be happening too. It's stuff that just didn't get done, so, it will. Our director will have a director, but the guys, the maintenance guys, it's amazing what they've done, just really impressed.
Good.
Yeah.
Gentleson Cloutier, kind of following on the naturalist. I was very surprised to see that you're going to be, hopefully discussing, voting on a resolution for being a bird-friendly community. I didn't know if that meant part of Toledo or Tama Toledo, and after reading it all, it sounds like the entire county. Will you be discussing this or just voting on it? In a year and a half, normally when there's a resolution, there's not discussion, it's just voting. Will you be discussing this today or voting on it?
Well, we normally just vote on them, yes, but I can open it for some discussion.
Well, in this case, there's 2 big things. Whereas birds are threatened by a variety of human actions, 2 big things are missing from this list that we've been talking about for a year and a half. And if you vote in favor of this, it would be a very hypocritical act to do that. So I hope you have a lot of discussion and you think before you vote on it. It'd be great PR for you to say, yes, we're in favor of this and we're in favor of saving wildlife and all of our birds. That'd be a great thing, be good PR, but discuss it, please, and not have a hypocritical vote. Thanks.
So just in case we're not going to discuss it, and in light of what's going on in Israel, this is just so stupid. I hesitate to even give my time to it, but it affects me. When I made my appointment for my birds this year, I was able to pick any date I wanted. She said hardly anybody is raising pasture birds of any kind anymore because we can't keep them safe. And that's the first time that's ever happened. And you know, I used to raise a couple thousand ducks and a couple thousand chickens every year. I still have people calling me. They want broilers. They want chickens that are not raised in confinement, that have real meat, like hogs, you know, pasture hogs versus confinement hogs. There's a difference in the meat. We get calls as being farmers for all of our lives here. We get calls constantly for this stuff. Somebody here said that it's a problem of not wanting to work. People don't wanna work, but we've been pushed out. We've been pushed out in almost all livestock categories to the point of, even the processing places and the lockers are so heavily regulated now that brand new facilities that I have used in the past have had to close because they can't meet the $30,000, remodeling fees that are being imposed on them. So, in reading this, first off I'm gonna say hawks, eagles, and owls are already protected. They are a problem, but they're already protected. So, we're gonna talk about, real quick here, sparrows, crows, and starlings that are probably one of the biggest problems to songbirds themselves. I mean, oh my gosh, they will push out everything. They will come to the feeders, they will destroy the feeders and destroy the pairs because they travel in packs, in dozens, whereas you have a pair of most other birds. So they are the biggest threat to birds. This thing is gonna protect crows, which the crows have increased in population. They are very intelligent. And I will say I'm having a problem with crows for the first time last year and this year, first time ever. And they have a huge range to fly in. So, I don't know how much money, I met this gal, I've talked with this gal, I was not able to tell her anything of she came out of college. I don't know if she's ever fed a bird in her life except maybe some sunflower seeds, but I was not able to visit with her and have an intelligent conversation with her because she just didn't get it. She just doesn't get it. Just cover everything, just put a net up. That's not a pasture flock of birds that people are gonna eat if it's got a cover over it and it's still in a muddy, stinky manure pit. And pesticide use, what is that going to do to our pesticide applications that we're able to, this is gonna put a lot of teeth into law enforcement that they will be obligated to find and follow. So I don't think we need this. Like I said, hawks, eagles, owls are already protected. Window collisions, so we have to get rid of our big windows now. I've got big windows on my house. A lot of the houses that were built prior to 2000 have huge windows. So what's that going to do to protecting our? Okay, so a bird's going to fly through the window, crack the window. A lot of them do. I've had guineas fly into my windows, crack my windows. So are we going to be forced by law to have window remodeling? Again, the biggest invasive species are the sparrows, the crows, the starlings. Stinking birds that have a lot of mites. They're terrible, and they give mites to the domestic, to the songbirds. Barn swallows didn't used to have mites, but if they live on a farm with starlings, they have mites. I know that from personal experience, and it's gross, just ugly gross. So that's what I have to say. I don't know how much this gal's getting paid, but let her go to a different county. She's just going to destroy one of the last few things we can do here, raising domestic birds for human consumption. And I can't even raise enough birds to feed the people that call me, and I'm not going to. I'm 70 years old, I don't give a rip anymore, but I want to be able to keep the ones that I've got, and I want to do this for the people that might want to follow in my footsteps and continue to raise some broilers on grass instead of in a stinking manure lot. And that's what happens when you put birds in a small confined area that's outdoors instead of indoors. Pretty soon you've got ducks make a wallow just like hogs do, and chickens, they scratch everything, and pretty soon there's no grass. So if you start putting birds even in an outdoor pen, you've got slop. Anyway, the end.
Ooh.
You know what you can do with that too.
Laura Wilson. I was just, my only concern about this is that it seems very vague. We're talking about taking steps to protect and educate, but we're not saying how we plan to increase quality habitat, if that's coming out of our budget, how we're going to reduce threat to birds. Will that be coming up when we discuss turbines later? It doesn't say how we're going to encourage citizen engagement. Is that going to be more meetings? Is that going to come out of budget? Is that going to be through education, educational paperwork flyers and such. How do you increase education regarding birds? Is that money out of the conservation budget or money out of the county budget? It's very vague. And I think it sounds great that we wanna be a bird-friendly community. I haven't looked into it, the livestock birds as much as Karen has apparently, but just voting for this resolution as it is, it just seems very, I don't know, superficial and frilly. Like, we wanna look good, but we're not putting any substance into what the resolution would entail or how we're going to back it. And then to go off what Janet said, we've been talking for a year and a half about wanting to protect these larger birds and such with our ordinances regarding solar and wind, and yet we're not bringing that up in this discussion at all. It's not even mentioned in here unless you consider it and more for the threatened by human actions part. I guess mostly what I started with, I think it needs a little more sustenance if you're gonna be voting on this resolution for how it's going to come about and how you're going to back it and how you're going to fund it, where the funds will be coming from, who's going to be leading it. It's good to say you'll support it, it's just, how are we going to support it? What actions are we gonna take to fulfill these, promises you're kind of making with the resolution? Thanks.
I wanna add to on my next 1 minute. So if you take industry out of Tama County, because other counties don't have as much, regulation, you're hurting yourselves. So there's hardly anybody in this county right now that raise any domestic birds to eat. So if you stop protecting the people that do, and I'm on the low end of that now, but I still do it. I mean, I'm one of the people that still do it. So if you threaten us, then another county will pick it up. And right now, people can go buy broilers and turkeys, but not in Tama County, because you have to hide them here already because of the hawk, eagle, owl problem. But this will make it even worse. And you know, if we can't protect ourselves from crows and sparrows and starlings, there goes our feed supply. I mean, don't think those birds, those disgusting things, don't know where the cracked corn, oats, and ground feed is. They ask a hog farmer. They know exactly where to go to get their feed. And that's too expensive.
Can I have a minute?
You can have 5.
No, that would go past 9:30.
You got 2, Richard.
Okay, just wanna comment, Karen over here has set up a meeting at 10:30 for the redistricting board, basically to, approve, not approve, but, tell her to go ahead and send our information to the state. And we'll see once what the state says then, so I wanna publicly thank Karen for all of her work, so, thank you.
Sounds like a good thing to do. Get that sent down there and hope for the best.
We got a lot of things coming on, our caucus is coming up.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to know where the districts are for people that wanna run.
Well, Karen, you updated me, but do you wanna update everyone else with what you said the state came back with?
So last week I got an email from the Secretary of State's office saying that the LSA office contacted them and that they are not able to redraw our districts with our current precincts, which I pretty much already knew. And so we are to go ahead and re-precinct, which we have already done. So this meeting today is just to make sure none of the board members on that re-precincting board had any public comments that we need to address or anything like that. And as long as we don't have any issues, then I will forward everything onto the state, that they can then forward to the LSA.
These are the people who said, we're the experts, we do this all the time.
That was the office,
You have
yes.
to deal with that.
That was the office.
Good luck, Richard.
Well,
Okay.
we will do what we can, so,
Yep, that's all you can do.
we're dealing with the state.
We're dealing with the state, and it doesn't always work out good.
Right. We have a timeline and we need to get it done.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, we've
so,
basically got 2.5 months and people can start taking out papers.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time.
especially when you're back and forth between the state and here.
Yeah.
And, when we've already done the work, they don't need to do it again.
Yeah.
So, LSA likes to look busy.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Thank you for being on that board. Okay, I have, 9:30, we'll start the regular meeting. Can I have a motion to approve last week's minutes?
I'll make that motion. I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve last week's minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Ben?
Morning.
Hi, Ben.
You guys have a good weekend?
Good.
How about you?
Getting somewhat moved in, so.
Everything out of the suitcases?
Yeah.
Got something to sit on?
Yeah, got a couch, so I mean, I'm good, so. So yeah, I guess this week got blades out, working the roads, and then, have the Durapatcher out, kind of last minute, or not last minute, but end of kind of the season here, with, getting that and doing kind of, stuff we can do before winter kind of takes in. I hate to say that word, but it's coming. So for the Toledo Bridge, the dirt crew kind of finished up their work last week. Like I said last week, we're waiting on that subcontractor for the paving approaches and the trail underneath and the guardrail and that sort of thing. They said it'd be end of October or early November. They'd get a chance to get in, so, we're kinda waiting on that, on them to come and show up and finish, so that bridge can be open. On K Avenue, that one was the one we was delayed due to utilities. We're working with the contractor to get something in place on timing. I think they're looking at the end of October to move in, maybe late or early November as well on that, so. And then our bridge crew is working on I Avenue, north of 150th. We're replacing that, the wooden deck there, and then encasing the piles. I said last week, Denko was out there to do bridge decking repairs. They didn't, because they were looking at later in the week, and Thursday and Friday we got some rain, so they'll be doing that this week. Just one south of Vining on B18 and the other one on E66, half a mile west of Highway 21. On the shop, we're getting a power washer that should be installed this week. We're waiting on the mechanical room drain. That needs to be lowered, because right now, that's the drain, the clean out is lower than the drain, and then the drain needs to be lowered, so that's something in there that needs to be taken care of, and then another thing would be the air compressor, like we're wanting to get that drain kind of lowered, because that's kind of more of a OSHA deal, where it's like, if we had any water in there, a small spill, or whatever the case may be, we want that dry in there, so when somebody goes in there, the electric panel's right there, so wanna make sure that's safe for everybody, so, working with them to try to get that figured out and finished out, so. That's it.
That's the
Yeah,
concrete-
I mean,
Is that the
not-
concrete company or the?
Well, they're talking with the piping people. They said they put adjustable drain, so that they're like, that's apparently what they always did. They put because there was another clean out, that's in the main shop area that they just had to lower as well. But this one is kind of the same thing, where it's adjustable drain that you can manually adjust it, but you know, when they get their grade set, that they would just adjust it down and be like, okay, this is where, but they did not.
But they did not.
They left it with where it was at, so we'll get that figured out. And
should have hired you to do it.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't wanna do anything for Pat, with Pat looking over me. We're gonna have to make Pat happy on that one, so.
On the bills, Van Hanning Construction for $18,720, concrete paved sharing at 1284 Highway Department. Where's that at? That-
That would be at the, between the AWE there and our old, the old DOT shop. There's a paving area there and they were wanting to do that.
And
Lyle had agreed to them, that you'd pay half of that, and so that's kind of where that,
Okay.
that was, it's
Alright.
the driveway, that kind of is on the,
We kinda share it.
yeah, share it, so.
Mhm.
So
All right,
it
well,
was
I
kind
just kind of wondered.
No, yep, I'm
Yep.
that's kind of where that came from.
We didn't want that $40,000 going for your new furniture, so we had to check on it.
No, yeah. So, but,
That needed to be done.
yep,
That culvert right next to where that water runs, that's always been a mess.
yeah, so, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Keep those blades on those gravel roads.
Yes, I know, we got some
Yeah.
washboards and we got
Yeah.
some actual, that's a good amount of rain, so, to
Yeah.
get, you actually get aggressive, so.
So we get something done this week before it dries up again.
Exactly.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, thank you, Ben.
You have a great.
All right.
You too, Kurt.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, Tammy.
I have a resolution for conservation, for birding. So the application to become a bird-friendly community includes, that you guys have to do a resolution. And, I assume Laura wants to tell you the resolution.
So this is for conservation.
This is for conservation, but you know, they don't have a director right now, so there you go. And it's basically supporting educational programs. This is all through the naturalist, Raina, so if you have any questions you wanna ask her, she knows everything about it. But it's just for habitat, for education with kids, which is pretty important.
So if there's any cost to that,
No,
no cost at
no
all?
cost to that, no.
And what exactly are they planning on doing? Do you have any idea?
Well, she'll be doing education,
Are they gonna be doing anything?
out there, they'll be doing birding things and, you know, it would be like, maybe building, feeders or, helping make sure that there's specific plantings. Excuse me. Sneeze. Excuse me. Anyway, it's just to help, the bird life in Pima County. So she'll be doing training, teaching, all that will be included. I'm sure they'll be doing a lot of fun projects and stuff. And most of her projects, they purchase the stuff and then they ask for donations. That's normally how they cover all their projects, so.
What's this, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one down about, where it talks about what's bad for the habitats, the window collisions, invasions, excessive pesticide use, that kind of stuff,
Well, that'll be.
Is that gonna be a countywide deal where they can
Well,
go?
I think it's just education, more education than anything else. Cause she can't go out and tell you what you can and can't use. So it's for educational purposes, but yeah, I'm sure they'll be talking about how, some of those pesticides and stuff harm birds and,
I can shed a little light on that. I
Yeah.
don't know about the pesticide part of it, but the window part, you talked about, on windows, there's some film you can put on your window that, I mean, if you have birds running into your window, you know, there's things that you can do and it's not changing your windows. But maybe, you know, I don't know what you're gonna decide, but it might be beneficial to have her here to kind of let you, to talk to you about what she had planned. I don't think it's any pie in the sky. I mean, it wasn't
No.
pie in the sky anything, but she might be able to shed some light.
yeah.
So if you don't decide to do anything now, she would be the person to talk to.
So is it just getting a title for the county saying we're a bird-friendly community?
Well, in order, no, you would have to be practicing what
bird-friendly community is. So it's not just getting a title, it's,
And the
she's gonna be
resolution's the first
teaching-
step of it.
yeah, this is the first part of it, so you can't do an application without a resolution. For the county to say, yes, we're involved, we're gonna be involved, and that would be Raina doing that.
So
Could
this
she-
is just to
could
let
she-
Raina,
Could
Go
she
ahead,
bring the
yes.
list of what is the checkoff to be a bird-friendly, to be designated a bird-friendly community, so we
I'm
can
sure
see
she-
what our goal would be? I think that would be good.
I don't know. Yeah. Call Raina, tell her to come in. She
Carol,
should
do
be
you
at the
remember,
office.
they had, a number of years ago, it was different birdhouses and stuff, I think it was similar type of program for different kinds of birds and stuff. They were building.
Bats and butterflies, yep.
Oh, yeah, it was before this, it would have been when I was like in junior high and stuff, where they were putting up, building birdhouses and stuff, kids were doing it. and
Martin
putting them on
houses type
fence
thing?
house-
Martin.
Fence posts and stuff, so. I think it's something similar to that, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's any pie in the sky thing,
It's not, it's just get started. Just educating the community on birds.
I'll do a presentation on birds for the community.
You know, I really think she could shed more light on this.
We could have her come next week.
Here, just call her. She should be in her office. Hold on. I'll see if she's in yet.
Where is her office at?
At the Nature Center.
Is that here in town?
no, out of the lake.
Well, that's what I thought. But it's like, she could just come over because she's in her office. I'm like,
Let her prepare a little bit.
Can we just put it off till next week and have her come in?
Yeah, but let's try and do it this week, cause I think she needs it, cause she can't even do the application without the resolution.
It's never intelligent to push things too fast without people being able to think.
I don't know if there's a date on this, is there a date on
No,
this?
but she wanted it this Monday, so I'll keep trying to get a
well,
hold of her.
if she wanted it this Monday, why wouldn't she be here to talk about it?
We
and
wanted
Because I
some
told
things
her
for a year
I
and
would
a
do
half
it
now.
for her, because there's not a director. So I said I would take the resolution to the board, have them approve it. It's not costing anything, it's to preserve bird habitat in Tama County. That's it, that's what it's about.
The education.
It is, it's the educational part of teaching people.
But that will
And
also
kids.
protect varmint birds, which there are lots of them. Garbage birds.
That-
Exactly,
What?
that's part of it, exactly. You can't just look at the pretty birds, because the varmint birds kill pretty birds. Everybody that feeds birds knows that. How do we keep away the squirrels and the sparrows and the starlings? Yuck stuff.
It'd be good to have her here.
I'll see if she's gonna be in. Cause she wants it today.
We need to know what she's really going to impose.
She's not gonna,
She's not imposing
She's not
anything, she's
imposing
educating. She is
It's just for
educating.
education.
That's just a start. You know what, everything has a start.
no, she's not gonna, she's not
That's
gonna.
ridiculous.
If it's just educational purposes.
Well, I'd like to hear what she has to say.
That would be a good thing to do.
If they were making an ordinance not to do something, then that would have to go through public hearings and everything.
Well,
This is
then,
just
then take off number 5. Take it off of there. It doesn't need to be there.
That's probably just part of the program.
Well, and we don't know, do we? Because we haven't heard her.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna keep trying to get hold of Raina.
She won't be able to get the resources to do any education.
She can't do anything without the resolution.
So
The
then, anything
resolution-
she wants to do with birds would cost money.
Is this an emergency? Birds? Really?
I think it could wait.
I think that it's really important that other departments choose to do programming, and it's important to her and to conservation. It might not be important to you.
It is
But it
important
might
to
be
me.
important
It's
to
very
her.
important. This is extremely important to me.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, let's see if she calls.
Does she have a deadline on grants or anything? I mean, did she?
Okay,
No, this is just a bird friendly, it's something that you want to do for your community.
It can wait 1 week.
Yeah.
I don't think
If she doesn't call me back, it probably can. I just
Okay.
know that she wanted it today.
yeah,
That's why we made sure it was on the agenda.
yeah. Okay, we'll go on with the claims then. Can I have a motion to approve the claims?
Oh, sorry, I had a straw in my mouth. I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the claims. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Claims this week are $229,761.91.
Fixing that driveway's what sent us over the edge.
I know. Pardon our, what's that? Our private.
Thanks, Laura. Nice to have you back.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next we have approved use of the courthouse lawn for 10/27/23 for 911 trunk or treat. Can I have a motion to approve that?
And I just have an email from Jeremy
Okay.
here, and he said this would be in cooperation with Public Safety and Life Flight Des Moines that evening. Not sure if we need the entire lawn, but maybe the northeast corner. It's from 5:30 to 7:30 on 10/27.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the use of courthouse lawn for the 911 truck or treat.
I'll second it.
Okay, been moved and seconded to approve the courthouse lawn use. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we have approved the recorder's quarterly report. You all have a copy of that?
Yes.
Yes. I've had a chance to look at it.
Yep.
Mhm.
I'll make that motion to
Okay.
accept it.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the quarterly report. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Nothing yet from,
No, Raina took the day off today,
oh, okay.
so we'll put her on the agenda for next week.
Last week.
Yeah.
And
You know what,
never-
Bill? You have a son that's raising chickens and eggs and a lot of birds over there too. This could affect him. You need to be telling him about this. Actually, take a copy of this and give it to him.
So, but we'll have her come in to
And
explain what this is
Yeah.
all about. Okay. We have North Risk Partners up here.
Yep, they'll be here. I haven't seen them yet, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I hadn't seen
Yeah,
it, so.
yeah, they'll be here around 10, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
What am I gonna do for 15 minutes?
Pretty sure, do some bird researching.
There you
That'll
go.
be good
Let's
for
talk
you.
about varmint birds versus good birds.
I don't know how you're ever gonna protect one, not the other.
You can't.
So,
You know, if you,
we've already got the neighborhood watch poaching thing where everybody can turn in everybody for shooting a gun or whatever. You get paid for doing that. That's in the newspapers quite a bit. That's not exactly what it's called, but it's always posted in the newspapers. So we've got a lot of stuff already out there. I guess it really depends on what she wants to do to protect birds that will affect the county and affect the people that are trying to. Does a farmer need to be told how to raise their cattle and hogs from Iowa State, or can we just do it, do a good job because we've been doing it since we were born? That's what it really comes down to.
I think.
Or plant a lot of trees like Rita has, and then you'll have a million birds that are all protected by beautiful pine trees and groves of trees and orchards of trees where they can eat. But there's a lot of varmint birds out there that this will increase the population of. This is devastating.
Well, this is more like education, like Smokey the Bear.
But I know what you guys said, but it starts with something like that. It always starts somewhere, and then it can build from there.
but what could happen?
Number 5,
Educating children about building.
there's
bird
nothing
houses.
wrong with education.
This is not educating adults, right?
No, this isn't.
No.
So, okay, so
This is
educate.
about conservation and teaching, which is what naturalists do, is they teach, and they teach kids, they teach anybody that wants to come and listen. That's what they do. It's about
maybe.
teaching.
Maybe she'd come.
She'll be going into
And she can,
schools.
she already goes into schools.
That's
Karen
right.
can call her
She
and
can-
ask her the questions too.
Yeah,
I mean, you
yeah.
can call these people anytime, you don't have to wait till Monday all the time. You can call
I would
people
like to
and
listen to
say-
what she has to say as to what she would do with this resolution. Otherwise, why do we need a resolution? She's already doing it all. We're already doing it all. Why do we have to have a document that says.
She needs the resolution
She
to
needs
move
it to be
forward
able to
with.
turn in her paperwork. to the
Yeah, she
state,
can't
yes.
apply to be
Is
a
what she
bird-friendly
needs.
community without the
Why do we need to
resolution.
be a bird-friendly community?
Why would we not wanna be a bird-friendly?
Well, let's be a
community?
sheep-friendly community and go out and kill all the coyotes then.
Well, that's a good
We can
idea.
do a lot
I
of
like that
things.
idea.
We're already trying that, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I am a fan of being a bird-friendly community. However, how is that gonna work with you guys not, also being pro-turbine? Cause it seems like those are contradictory.
So if you're worried about that, then you gotta be anti-car, you gotta be,
Cars and windows kills more than what the turbines do.
I mean, they fly in our.
Well, we don't know that because they
Yeah, we
hide, they hide their numbers
I'll
and they
give you a
don't let you
little
know.
You get tired of hearing all that.
Information I got.
Do you really hit
Colorado.
birds with your car? Cause I don't
Yeah,
hit birds
I've
with my
hit a
car.
lot of them.
Okay.
Eagles?
I was in Colorado last year.
Almost got an eagle the other day.
You were in Colorado last year.
Yes. And I was in a wind turbine area, and I talked to the gentleman who was there. He had 2 wind turbines within probably 1,500 feet of his property. And I asked him, had no idea what we were doing here or anything. Nothing was ever said about that. I asked him if those wind turbines bother him. He goes, no. He said, if we listen real hard, we might be able to hear the whoosh. But he said, as the wind gets stronger, he said, you don't hear that wind turbine. He said, you hear the wind.
That must be, that must be different in the mountains because you
And
can hear them.
this is in the plains. And
You quarter mile, we were working out by C Avenue, whatever, by south of Gladbrook. You could hear 1/4 mile very well,
I don't know, this is what he told me.
very well.
Was he deaf? Cause that could
And
have
he
led into
said,
it too.
You
Hard of
know,
hearing?
there's a lot of myths about these things.
Yeah.
He said, I went around to all these ranchers out here and talked to them. Different ones that have a lot of wind turbines out there. And he said, every one of them has told me there's a lot more dead birds away from them wind turbines than there is at the wind turbines.
How far away? Because that wind vortex does go
Right.
quite a bit of ways.
Well, they could have gotten injured and got, like a deer, you shoot a deer and it can go a mile before it
I don't know, I
drops.
think if a bird gets hit by a turbine, it's
Yeah.
gonna
So what do
just
you
drop.
mean,
It's gonna
what do you
pretty
mean,
much go
like,
out right
what
there.
did you mean away from them? Like
Often
just-
there are other parts of the ranches
they just,
where they farm and stuff.
just find them everywhere random.
That's where they find more
Birds just drop
dead
dead.
birds
They
than
just
they
drop
do
out.
in the turbines.
Every day downtown.
Anybody that,
It could be from pesticides, I don't know.
anybody's
But
in
that's what I was
favor of
told.
something, they're gonna have the talking
Yeah.
points. Anybody's against it, they're gonna have it
So-
on both sides.
That's right, Kurt. If you wanna find fault, you'll find fault.
Yeah.
So, but that's just what I was told from an individual that lives in the middle.
I just honestly believe this is more of a
So,
educational thing for children.
but this
Then they
thing
need
is
to throw out
educational.
number 5, it
This
doesn't
Go off
need to
and
be
draw
there.
some- Color some pictures in of
There you go.
a couple birds.
Well, then let her tell us that that's all.
Maybe make a birdhouse.
Yeah, make a wren house or
Yeah.
something, you know.
I actually had a friend show me, he bought a bat house or home or whatever. I said, why in the heck? Well, they eat insects. They said, well, I know that, but they're gross.
Yeah.
Can I ask why we need to be designated as a bird-friendly community when we already have been forever? I mean, what does that get us?
This probably gets her, educational
You're not really getting
information.
money, you don't know. Well, just, she'll come next week and she can talk to her.
That's what I'd like to know, what's the point of all this? There's a lot of serious stuff going on in this world right now.
Carolyn, you're on board. Do you know anything about this?
Yeah, sure, yeah, we got caught up in
Okay,
this
well,
meeting.
tell us what you know.
Well, I know what we've already talked about, and it's just for education wise. Now, why we need to do it, we probably don't need to do it, but maybe she can get grants and things, money, I don't know, but she'll be able to tell us that. We didn't go into it in total depth, but it's, she has programs, maybe she's at Clark's Park and you identify birds and, maybe she can get some materials from them to help with that. It's more that sort of thing for kids. That's what I thought it was. I didn't think it was anything nefarious, so. But I think the best thing to do is wait and let her talk and see what she has to say. And she may not have even thought of some of these other things, but I don't really think that's gonna bother.
Usually when you get a grant, there's some little tail on that you have to.
Well, No, I don't even know if she's gonna get a grant, but that's a possibility maybe. She'll know. There's really nobody against it at our meeting. I mean, it depends about where we are.
Yeah, I don't think most people care, it doesn't affect their lives, they think. However, I can't tell you the number of people that have told me, shoot some crows if you have a chance.
Well, she might not even be against that. I don't know.
Well, they're on here, they would be a protected species, they're a bird.
But she's not the law, so you gotta do what's, I don't know what's legal, I'm not sure. You
It's
can
too
have-
bad people can't just protect themselves anymore, they have to.
It will move the truck,
What'd you say, Dan?
So you were saying before the meeting that zoning was gonna meet, was that just to be introductory or for training or for something specific?
Just gonna meet,
Just
try
for them
get
to
know
meet
each other.
and get to know each other.
They're not gonna do, I don't think they're planning on doing it.
No, there won't be any actions or anything, other than maybe if they have to, they'll elect a chairman. And that'll be it.
Will you ask them to complete any training? I know there are some training courses put on by the ISU Extension for new zoning
I
members.
don't know if
'Cause you
that's
have-
our deal, isn't that Tavius's?
Yeah.
That would be under Tavius. yeah.
He would be the one who would ask.
Tavius is has impressed me very much so.
He is really doing a great job.
So
I know that's not on the agenda, but when I talked to Octavius.
no, can't talk.
You're not the chair.
I'm not on camera either. I didn't,
Yeah,
wave
yeah.
at you or anything, no. But, so can we put it on the agenda to discuss if you're gonna be hiring for the zoning or the board of adjustment or anything?
Appointment.
I know you did have some interviews for some things, and I know you did appoint a couple people for the zoning board.
That's the idea of them getting together,
Yeah.
getting knowing that,
So,
You were asking about adjustment though.
Well, I'm asking about both.
no, we haven't done anything with the board of adjustment
No.
yet.
Oh, okay, I thought you were interviewing those two, that you haven't yet.
Where is the proposed site for the Amish cemetery? Did he mention?
You know where their building is south of Montour?
It's the store.
Yep. The
Okay.
bakery.
it'll be just north of that
There, I'll
store.
show you.
Here, I'll show you.
Just north. Let's see, I guess I'll go this way.
Yeah, if you're gonna get up here, you can't argue with me.
I promise not
We
to.
got just a second because
So-
our,
Are they here?
This is north, this is Montour.
Are they here?
yeah.
This is-
Started
this
over
is
by
where
all
the
means.
buildings are.
We're gonna stick around till 10:30.
One is way off of the road, isn't it?
Yeah, this one. They said this one might be a little too low. Area, so, and then this green here, this will be an easement, so people can go. They don't want
Is the board of adjustment functional now with their person off?
Yeah, they're still doing it.
Yeah.
And things would be official if they met and
He's gonna go up there.
So you're not.
Yeah, all the way around, which is, why don't you just come this way?
We haven't discussed any of that right now, no. Yeah, you can come up front.
They're ready for you.
Don't follow him, because he doesn't know where he's going.
He'll lead you astray.
A true story. He will.
How you doing? Good.
You get that one because that's got the trap door.
Well, I'm left-handed, so that's perfect.
Morning. How are you?
A lot of people call that wrong hand.
What do you think that?
Actually, I'm just gonna get a chair.
They tried it on.
Don't break.
My oldest brother.
Everything else, right?
They can hit baseball. Lefties.
This guy's on, let's keep it going.
Yep.
Okay.
So I will go that way, yes.
Well, wherever I go out to dinner, let's make sure I'm strategically placed. Anybody else healthy under here?
I got my oldest
You could
brother.
have said left and I would have busted you right there.
Yeah.
Ambidextrous.
Gotcha.
All right.
Yeah, I went to,
You're okay.
kindergarten, and, my teacher tried to get me to work right-handed. Some of you remember that. or two with the teacher, said, no, it's worn that way, that's, you know, probably gonna be very creative, which we'll see about that later, right?
Stay
So-
tuned.
Stay tuned. She went out and bought me left-handed scissors, and I came home the next day frustrated again, actually crying this time, I gotta admit, back when I was a soft, gentle man, right? And, she goes, well, what's wrong? And I go, these scissors don't work, and she goes, well, let me see you use them, so I put them in my right hand. Ambidextrous. Now that I got everyone laughing here, let's go ahead and talk.
That's good.
All right, well, good to see you.
Good to see you.